Hello, students and participants. Welcome to today's webinar by Constellation Training and Placement Services. A warm welcome to all of you who have joined our webinar. And this Saturday evening webinar, we have been able to continue throughout the last couple of months. My name is Ranjan Kumar Majumdar. Many of you would have already met me on these webinars or in the classes. And I'm the founder and managing director of Constellation Training and Placement Services, a company which is now 12 years old and focusing on many courses for students to help them with their placement preparation as well as in their career. I have about 17 years of professional experience with Tata Consultancy Services out of about 34 years in the industry. Qualification wise, I am a BTech from IIT Kharagpur and a PGDM from IIM Calcutta. And other than managing Constellation activities, I take special care of students, guiding them in their career, and I conduct soft skills courses. Today, I am proud to have Mr. Vivek Kumar with me. Um, Vivek has been associated with Constellation for quite some time now. He is our IT mentor. He's an industry expert. He works in an IT firm, which is a leading company in India. And his area of expertise has been as a project lead, as a trainer, and he has spent about 13 years. As a faculty member, he is a expert in languages like C, C++, Java, Python, data structures, and he has taught at various places. He has been with TCS, he has worked with TCS, and he has taught in multiple institutions always. As also he has been associated with Constellation. He's a BTech engineer from BIT Simri. Welcome, Mr. Vivek Kumar.
Thank you, sir.
As I mentioned, we were formed in the year 2011 by alumni of IITs and IIMs. We are based in Kolkata and we are working all over India. There are four specific areas in which Constellation works: college training, assessments to help you students to get over your placements. That is a specialized area we do. We are into corporate training, which means that we train and teach people in organizations. We are also a placement company, and we have a wing which is into business consulting advisory services. This is our total gamut of placement courses. We are very strong in aptitude test preparation. As you know, that's the first gate. Um, we have coding oriented IT courses, and we have soft skills. So these three courses forms the backbone of the 60-hour programs that we have been talking about for some time now, and today's webinar is focused towards that. So basically, it's an amalgamation or a hybrid of these three courses, which is we are going to cover in 3 months' time. That is over 60 hours. We are also an organization which devotes a lot of time in English communication. We are a partner of Cambridge Learning and we impart English education. And our assessments have become very popular all over India. We carry out assessments directly to you students, and we also carry them out extensively in many colleges, whether they are aptitude tests, whether they are coding tests, whether they are English tests. We do them. And I would also invite you to go into our courses. We will share the links for that, and pick up the aptitude tests and the coding test, and these are free and you can test yourself. Having said that, this is a list of our clients or the colleges in which we have conducted our courses, and we have also been conducting direct courses to students and participants like you. So that's a list, and some of them are all over India, as you can see. And by now, we would have worked with about 28 colleges and universities, and we would have touched the lives of more than 25,000 students in a positive manner to help them with their career goals. Well, talking about the 60 hours of placement preparation program, what is the objective of the program? We aim to assist students with their placement preparation. It is a rapid program to get ready for the placement season. The placement season in many colleges have already started, and we want to start it now and over the next 3 months when there will be the heat of placements, and there will be a lot of companies coming to campuses, off campuses happening, and this is the time of the recruitment season, and we want to be there. We want to be there to help you as you go along in your placements, to help you solve problems, and whether they are in aptitude tests, coding tests, and soft skills. And we offer a blend of all three to provide a very holistic preparation for your placements. The salient features of the course, it is very, very targeted, and it is very effective for students wanting to join the IT sector. IT, even today in our country, happens to be the biggest employer. So the coding oriented IT focused course to help students master coding. See, where we come from is that in colleges, you are studying your courses, you are studying your languages, but it is very theoretical in nature. But what we have seen is the coding tests are more focused on industry level coding. So we shall basically, in 40 hours in this course, solve close to 50 such problems. And we would like to make sure that you are comfortable in coding, so that if a problem is given to you in one of the coding tests, you are able to sail through. That's the basic idea. We will devote 40 hours for that. Just because of the fact that aptitude test is the first gate, so we would like to make sure that you don't stumble there. So what we shall do is we shall give you 5 assessments on aptitude test, and we will discuss those solutions in about 10 hours. So 40 hours plus 10 hours of aptitude, 250 questions of aptitude we shall practice and discuss. And 10 hours we will devote to soft skills, focusing on group discussions, interviews, how to do your self introduction, so that we make you comfortable to face the interview panels. Right, students? Access to Constellation course repository on the 3 subject areas and the coding, and we will make available all these courses which are there on the our learning management system. So aptitude test with more than 3,500 questions will be all yours with all the tests. We will make open the Java coding course that we have. If you want to use any of our other course like C, C++, Python, feel free to ask us. We will open that course for you, so that along as we solve the problems in class, if you have any issues about any concepts, you can go back, refer to our course, and study from there. And we shall obviously open up our soft skills course for you, so that you can go through all the videos and material over there. And we will also make available our coding editor. It's a coding editor from one of the American companies. It's a leading editor all over the world. So we will make that open to you, and we will give you, other than the 50 questions or coding problems that you will solve in class here with the teachers like Mr. Vivek Kumar, or like Suramya sir, you might have met, and other teachers. In addition, we will open the coding editor to you and give you more than 100 problems to solve. And we shall give you a certificate on completion. More importantly, we will take your consent. And if you agree that since we are a placement agency, we will share your details with many of the companies who are willing to recruit. But let me be honest, we are not providing placements. We are providing training and helping you to get connected with the companies in our network. The registration is on. The As you see that that's the URL over there, and as we go through today's program, we will share the URL in the chat. Classes are starting on the 1st of September. This is a packed routine. You have to complete 60 hours in 3 months. So about 20 hours every month. So 3 to 4 classes per week, 2 hour sessions in the evenings, 8 to 10 p.m. And all these classes are going to get recorded and stored in our learning management system where you can go and revise. I've also already talked about the certificate. The cost of the program is rupees 4,000, but if you go to the link today, the discount is already there. We are offering this course at 3,000 rupees. So I would suggest that time is very limited now. Before we close, do kindly quickly make up your mind and make a purchase of the course and book your seat in the class. As I mentioned, 40 hours of coding, 10 hours of aptitude test preparation, and 10 hours of soft skills. So, with that, what I'll do is I'll stop my share and I shall go and any questions till now, please? Any questions? Before I hand it over to Vivek sir to take the classes. And once more, warm welcome to all of you. Don't be late. Please register. We want to start off. One more webinar before the classes start off. I can't guarantee that I'll continue with the discount. I may not, but book your seat now. Register students, participants, and be in the class. I really look forward to having you in the class and assisting you, helping you with your journey in the placement journey. And we have been associated in this journey for many years. As a professional with TCS for 17 years, I've been part of the interview panels in many colleges. And in the last 12 years, we have been preparing students. I have realized that it's a marathon, it's a long journey that you have where you have to go company wise, prepare yourself and do your best. And as I said, all these questions, whether you take it from aptitude, whether you take it from coding, are becoming quite difficult now, and especially the coding where um, the coding problems are really very challenging nowadays. They are expecting industry level coding. So if that is the challenge, we are here to assist you with that challenge. Over to you, Vivek sir. Welcome once again and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, students. So, uh, you might be seeing in multiple Vivek Gaurav. So one from my from one of the system, my audio is coming from one of the system, my camera is coming. Okay, so it's like a complex setup. Yeah. So good evening to all of you. And what I would want to have is that in this webinar for the next 1 hour, 15 minutes, or whatever time we have, it's like it should not be a one-way communication, right? Because see, yes, I have something to present. That's absolutely I am ready with that. But when you are here, you must be having some questions. It's not like you came here just to see like what is there on offer. Definitely you would have some questions in your mind, some doubts, some curiosity, some concerns, whatever it could be, right? Maybe like how should you prepare, or what the course has to offer, what kind of questions are being asked in the company, anything. So feel free to drop something in the chat, right? Keep it interactive, because as a trainer, right, you need some kind of energy, and your my energy comes from your chat, your responses. So can I have something in the chat before I go ahead and get started, before I start some sharing my screen? Can I get something from you? Your favorite emoji, hi, hello, good evening, wherever you are from, right? Your name of the city, whatever you want to write. But can you put something in the chat? Let's see who starts the conversation. Oh, hello Aragya. Hi Anjali. You are from Bhubaneswar. Nice. Bhubaneswar is a good place. I have been to Bhubaneswar like not last month, like uh, 2 weeks back, I was there. Awesome, nice place. What about others? Where are you from? Aragya, where are you from? Really curious about to learn something new? Absolutely, Uttam. I'm absolutely eager, same as you, to teach something. Aragya is from Kolaghat. Okay, where are you from, Uttam? From Kolaghat. Subhadeep is also from Kolaghat. Hi, Subhadeep. You have been there right from the very beginning. Balasore, Uttam, nice place, right? If my forgive me if my geography is not that right, but if I remember it, if I'm able to recall it right, we have a like test center over there. All the missiles get launched from get tested over there. Is it right? I heard it sometime. Balaso, right? Yeah, yeah. Okay, so my geography, my memory, my history, geography, whatever it is not that bad. Okay, hi Anjali. Nice. So now that we are all here, we are all ready. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so let me share my screen. There are multiple screens. So yeah, and hopefully you are able to see my screen, right? 60-hour placement preparation program webinar. This is what you are able to see. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put my camera off. Reason is that this is where my camera is. This is where my main screen is, and this is where my secondary screen is. So there are three different screens. Okay, so I will not be able to make eye contact with any one of you, right? And I do not want any one of you to get distracted looking at me. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna put my camera off, okay? But my voice is gonna be there. Right. So now that we are here, what we have talked about is that this webinar that we are talking about is is for a course which we are launching starting from the 1st of September, which is a 60-hour placement preparation course, right? And Ranjan sir has already talked about it, like what it is, what things are we going to discuss, what kind of support you are going to get from Constellation side, right? From the trainers, including me, right? The certification, the platform, and all those things. What we're going to do now is that we are just going to have a couple of things now. Like we just want to have a look at how the questions looks like. Brendan sir talked about one thing, that things have become a little complex, right? The coding has been the industrial level coding. This is what the companies are looking for. And what I would say is that and to be very honest, you can also see the concept of Java, the concept of Python, the concept of C, or concept of any programming language has not changed. Loop is still a loop, right? For is still a for loop. If is still a if, right? An array is still an array, right? But when then the question is, where does the difficulty level starts? Where is the difficulty? So the difficulty is the way we are getting educated and the way they are asking questions. This is the gap. Okay, this is the gap. This is the big gap. So what you are learning is you are learning the same concept but from a different perspective. And what the company is asking, they're asking the same questions, they are asking the same concepts, but at a different perspective. Just to show you, okay, so on that note, we are going to start with our first problem. Have a look at this problem. The problem name is Superstitious Sally. Okay, and if you look at the question says that Sally considers the number 5 to be her lucky number. Okay, consequently, she believes that the fifth letter she sees in a day is a lucky letter of the day. This is what the context of the story is. This is what I would say. This is the plot of the story. Okay, if you are watching a movie, this is the plot. Now there are a couple of things over here. You are given a string T of length 10. Okay, you have a string which has 10 characters in it, representing the first 10 letters Sally saw today, and you have to tell what is Sally's lucky letter. There is a lot of things. There is input format, there is output format, there is constraints, right? And so many things, right? The input format is that it consists of a string of length 10. Output format is that you have to bring a single character. Just have to print a single character. What are the constraints in the program? The constraint is like it cannot have more than 10 letters, and it all contains lowercase letters A to Z. Now tell me, I want to ask you, right, what this question is trying to ask you. And to be very honest, how many lines of code do you think this program is going to have? How many lines of code? Can anyone tell me? Is it going to be a big like 10, 20 lines of code? Is it going to be that big? What do you think? No response coming up. I'd want to have some response. Okay, something is there. Okay, in one line. Uttam is saying in one line. Are you sure, Uttam? And how many of you agree with Uttam? How many of you are agreeing with Uttam? Uttam is saying it is just one line of code. And I do not disagree. Aragya is saying 10 to 15 lines. Aragya, 10 to 15 lines, you might be right if you are considering the format, the syntax of the system. Absolutely right, Uttam. This is what we are going to do, right? And again, you are also right. If we consider the format of any programming language, like if I talk about Java, you have to do some import, you have to write public static void main, then a function and all, and then the brackets. If you do all these things, then it might become 10 to 15 lines. But the core of the problem, what it is asking is that, see, it is very simple. It has just made it like a little complex, just trying to, make you all afraid, right? And trying to, anticipate a lot of things. Otherwise, if you look at the question, you just have to, this is where the answer is. Fifth letter in the whole, in the word that C is looking at. So let's suppose that if C is looking at a word called coding, right? This is the word if C is looking at. What is the fifth letter over here? I hope all of you can see what I'm writing on the screen, right? Yeah, I can see that. So what is the fifth letter over here? If you all know, if I'm writing coding like this, right? And if you are aware of the concept of like, array, how does array work? It starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So if the fifth letter is the lucky letter, what is the lucky letter that I have? N. N. This is what the question is asking. The question is simply asking whatever word you are having, you just find what is the fourth position letter in the whole array and then you return it, right? And if you are using programming languages like Java, if you are using Python, right, they all have inbuilt functions. They all have inbuilt functions which you can directly use, and it can make your life really easy, right? And even for that matter, even if you're using C or C++ also, you do not have to do anything, right? You just have to print what is there in that fifth position, in that fifth position of the array. Okay, so since this whole course is going to be based on Java, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open the coding editor. Okay, and I have a coding editor which is like Visual Studio. This is what I'm using. I hope all of you might be familiar with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to start writing the code for this, and let's see how many lines do we have. Okay, so I'm going to add a file and I'm going to name it like, Sally, superstitious Sally. So I'll make ss Sally dot Java. This is what I'm going to write. Okay, so you see public class Sally is already there. We have already this part. Now what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go ahead and start putting something. The first thing I'm going to do is that I will import, because I have to take user input, right? So I'm going to import java.util.scanner. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, now the whole course that we are talking about, in that course we are going to discuss these kind of problems, and we are not going to talk about like, that what is import, what is Java, what is public, what is class. It doesn't mean we are not going to talk about it in any way. We will talk about it during the program. Okay, so we'll take one problem and whatever concepts comes in that problem, we'll discuss about that. This is how this course is going to be. It is not like, we'll first talk about the introduction to Java, then we'll talk about like, where Java is being used, then we'll talk about properties of Java. No, the way the conventional thing happens, you might have seen in like, in like, some websites or in some YouTubes, or in some other sessions that you might have attended. We are not going to do like that. The whole idea is that to make aware of as many problems as possible, and from that you learn. Okay, so the first thing I did is that import java.util.scanner. Can anyone tell me what is the purpose of that? While I'm writing the next line, can anyone tell me what is the purpose of that? Okay, in the meanwhile, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna write public static void main. Okay, this is one of the advantage of having code editor like Visual Studio Code. It auto completes things. I can see couple of input to take user input, to use scanner the user input. Yes, so Java has a lot of classes. You all know that, right? So there is something called utility class that we have. In that we have something called scanner. So if the moment you want to take input from the user, you will have to have that. And just importing that is not going to solve the problem. What you'll have to do is that you'll have to instance. You have to create an instance of that class. You have to create an object of that class. Okay, and this is what we are going to do over here. Scanner s is equal to new scanner. Okay, new scanner, and then I'm gonna put system dot in over here. What I'm doing right now, I'm just doing the stuff which is required for Java. I have not even started the actual coding. These are the things which Java needs. If you want to take any input from the user, you have to do these things no matter what. Right now, what we'll be doing is that I'll be reading the user input. So the question already made it very clear that the user is going to put one line. Okay, so string str is equal to, what I'm gonna do is that s dot next. Okay, I'm gonna read the input whatever the user is putting over there, and then if I want, I can directly write the one line of code that I was talking about, or I can create a new function. It doesn't matter. Okay, so let me first put the things over here itself. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put system dot out dot println. Okay, and I'm gonna put str. Okay, but what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put str dot, and then I'm going to use the function char at, and then I'm going to return the index. Which index I'm going to return? Shall I write 5? Shall I write 4? What do you think is the right answer? The question has asked for fifth letter, but here what should I write? 5 or 4? Subhadeep is saying 4. What about others? What do others think? Is Subhadeep right? Uttam is also saying 4. Okay. Aragya is also saying 4. And we have already talked about when I was writing it on the screen, I told you that the array indexing starts from 0, right? So if you want to return the fifth letter, it has to be the fourth position. So I'm putting it 4 over here. Okay, and now let me run the code and see if that works. Okay, so here I'm writing the user input coding, and what it is returning n. I'm not sure if you are able to see it that small, but here you can see it is n. Let me try and see if I can make it a little bigger. Okay, I can make the code bigger, but not the output bigger. But hopefully you can see that here it is. I entered coding and then it returned n. Let me run it once again, and this time I'm gonna write my name. Okay, can anyone tell me what is going to be the output when I write Vivek? What is going to be the output? K. Okay, let's see, and that is the right answer. Okay, so a simple problem which was looking complex. Why it was looking complex? Because of the wording, because the way it has been put, the way it has been demonstrated to you. Okay, so this was one question. And what is happening these days is that all of the companies are asking a similar type of question. This is the kind of question. They are not asking you the concept of array, that write a program to take 10 numbers from user and find the sum using an array. They are not doing that. They are not asking you write a program to input 10 number from the user and print the fifth position. This is what the question is actually. If you look at indirectly, this is what you are doing. You are taking input from the user and you are returning whatever is there in the fifth position. This is what you are doing. But the way it has been interpreted is making it more complex. It has been like a story. Couple of minutes will go away in reading the whole sentence. Then you'll have to understand about the input format, then the output format, and then the constraints, right? And then you will have some input, some output as an example. If you look at if you look at, you see we have some sample examples over here. Then the explanation will also be there in some of the cases. This is what it is going on. Okay, so this was one question. Before I go ahead and take another questions, are we all good? Do you have any questions so far? Can I have something in the chat? Hi, hello, good evening. How are you doing? What did you have for the snacks? Which college you are from? Which year you are in? Which is your favorite programming language? Whatever you want to put. Anything. Out of so many questions that I have asked, you can write answer for anything that you remember. I'm still waiting. I'm not gonna go ahead to the second problem until unless I get a response. No, I'm not gonna go ahead. I hope you are able to hear me, right? This is one of the things that as an online trainer you have to keep asking. Are you able to hear me? Is my screen visible? Is everything okay?
Yeah, Uttam and Argo, they have asked some question, Vivek sir.
Oh, is it? Like, let me have a look, sir. I'm not able to see. Okay, so yeah, I can see. Okay, you love Java. Sorry, my chat was not getting updated. Okay, so why company are asking this pattern of problem? So again, like things evolve, right? Over a period of time, things evolve, right? Things changes. And what was happening, like, if I say with my experience, it's with my limited knowledge, whatever I have seen, right? I will not be able to answer for all of the companies together, but if why I'm asking this kind of question, I can tell you. So what used to happen is, like, people used to remember or memorize the coding, okay, like the code, okay. So if write a program to find the sum of two numbers, you will remember that. Okay, take input, take first number input, take second number input, and then print the output by adding them. But if I manipulate this, if I ask the similar logic in a different way, you will get confused, isn't it? Do you agree with me? This is how it happens, right? So now what started happening is that companies knew, like, that. And moreover, if you look at, whenever you join a company, you will find that a lot of resources is being spent on their training, right? And what companies want to do these days is that they want to have the best. They want to have the minimal of the, like, they do not want to find someone and put so many of resources trying to improve that. They want to find the best. And one way of finding the best is, like, change the problem and then let them answer, because if you know, it doesn't matter what kind of question it is, you will be able to answer. Okay, and in the next problem, we are gonna see, like, that in a simple question, how companies are adding a couple of extra line to make it a little complex. This is what we are gonna see in the next question. Okay, so now that we have got good amount of response, let me take you to a platform that Brendan sir has talked about. Okay, so there is a platform called CoderByte. Okay, and this is one of the platform that you will get access to once you get the course, and this is one of the challenge that we have over here. Okay, if you look at this question, just a moment. If you look at this question, let me, yeah. I hope you all able to see. So there is a question called math challenge. Okay, and here it says, have the function math challenge, which is taking one parameter num, and take the num parameter being passed and determine the largest double digit number within the whole number. So what it is asking you is that it is asking you to take one number as the input, and then you have to determine the largest double digit number within that number. Okay, for example, if that number is 4759472, then your program should return 94, because that is the largest double digit number that you can have in this whole number. Okay, the input will always contains at least two positive digit, and here is an example of some input and here is an example of some output. Now you see, this is the question that you have. Here you have the editor. You do not have to go to any other editor. You cannot use any other editor. You can choose whatever languages you want, right? You have the option of, like, right now I have enabled these options: C, C++, C Sharp, Java, Python 2, Python 3, right? And then you have the run code, you have the run test cases, and so many things. So I'm going to select Java for the time being. Okay, and in the Java, what I'm gonna see is that, you see, in the Java, the moment I changed it, the code has changed to Java, and there are some basics codes already there. Some of the basics lines of code which you need in Java is already there. The main function is already there. The function is already created. Couple of lines to take input is already there. You just have to put your code over here. This is what they're asking you to do. Okay, this is what they're asking you to do. Now the point is, right, have a look at this question. This is not making it really complex or the way it was the other question, but this is also not that simple, isn't it? This is also not that simple. Now here also, if you will understand it carefully, here also we are using a concept of array, isn't it? Here also we are using concept of array. Are we or are we not? Yeah. Yes, here also we are using that, right? But the way it has been presented is little different. Okay, the way it has been presented over here is little different. So what we are going to do now is that we will have a look at this question and see, like, how this works. So are we all good? Shall we go ahead and get started? Shall we start writing the code for this? And a lot of times you will see that companies are giving you their own editor. In that editor you cannot change the window, you cannot Google search, you cannot copy paste. Even if you are doing it, it is getting detected. They are detecting your copy paste stuff. Okay, everything is getting recorded over there, and that has made a little difficult. If you'll ask me what has changed in the last couple of years, this is what has changed. Okay, the moment they asked you to write the code in their own editor in a limited time frame, this has given some extra pressure to the students, and this is where we want to help you. We want to give you enough practice so that no matter what happens, you know how to proceed with these kind of questions. Okay, so here is the main problem that we have: the main program public static void main, which is already having the scanner class, scanner object s, right, and it is already printing it out, the output that you will have, and it is already calling the it is already calling the function math challenge. So I'm not going to make any changes in this main function. No, nothing is going to be over here. Whatever I will have to do, I will have to do here. Okay, inside that math challenge function. So the way I am gonna do, I'm gonna approach this problem is that I am gonna approach this problem in a different way. Okay, what will I do is that I will convert this. Okay, whatever number is coming to me, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna convert it into a string. This is what I'm gonna do. Okay, how I'm gonna do it? Let me write it, and in the whole process I will be explaining it to you. So the first thing I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna declare a variable str, okay, or where a string var equal to string dot value of, okay, value of, and value of what? Value of the num variable that is coming over here. This is what I'm gonna do. So what I did is that whatever integer was coming in the num variable, okay, num parameter, I am converting it into a string, because that way life is going to be a little easier, because Java gives you a lot of string functions. In any programming language, you have a lot of string functions, right? So the moment you convert it into a string, you can use a lot of string functions over there, and this is what I'm trying to do. Then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to define a variable called max double digit, okay, and I'm going to initialize it to 0. This is the maximum that I have. Max double digit is equal to 0. Now what I'm going to do is that now that I have it, I'm going to iterate. I'm going to use a for loop, okay, till the length of this string, whatever input, whatever number the user is giving, and then I will increase it by 2. So what I'm going to do is that it is going to be something like this. If the user input is 43, sorry, 45, I'm taking this input 453857. What will I do is that first of all I'll start from this position. Okay, so from here and plus 2, this is what, so it is 45. Okay, so my max double digit is going to be 45 for the first time. Then I will come to this position, and from here 2 digit, then is 53. Is 53, is 45 greater than 53? No, so the max will become 53. Then what it will be, it will come to this position. Next double digit is 38. Of course 38 is smaller than 53, no change. Then it will come to this position. The next double digit is 85, so here it will become 85. Like this I'm gonna do. Are you okay with the logic that I'm gonna apply? Are we all good with the logic, or do you think of any other logic? If you have to solve this problem, how would you solve it? Okay, so Aragya is saying that you have got it. I'm still waiting for others to respond. Okay, so if you are good with that, let's go ahead and see. So what I'm going to do is that for int I equal to 0, okay, I less than var dot length, okay, var dot length minus 1. Of course, I'll have to make it minus 1. The reason is that in the for loop, I cannot go till the very end, right? It will be like an error over there, and then I'm going to do I plus plus, okay, like this. This is what I'm going to do. Sorry, I plus plus. So my for loop will go this way. Now what I have to do is that I have to find the double digit from the string every time. So this is what I'm going to do. Int double digit, okay, double digit equal to, and here it is going to be integer dot percent, integer dot percent, okay, and here it is going to be var dot substring I comma, sorry, I comma I plus 2. This is how it is going to be. So what this is doing is that this double digit is actually finding two numbers every time, starting from 0, then the first position 2 numbers, then the second position 2 number, and the third position from there 2-digit number, like that. And now here it is going to be very simple. Here it is going to be like if condition. If double digit, okay, if double digit is greater than max double digit, then what will happen? Max double digit is equal to double digit. That's what it is going to be. I will just swap the values, right? I'll not swap the values. I'll just copy the values of double digit into max double digit. This is what I'm going to do. That's it. Okay, and in the return, instead of num, now that my max double digit is going to have the final answer, this is what I'm going to return instead of num, like this. Okay, let me run the code and see if I get the answer right or if there are some mistakes. Let me clear the log and see. So I'm getting 0. I'm not getting the right answer. Let me run the test case once and see if I am getting it. Yeah, if I run the test cases, I can see, like, if the input is 453857, the output is 85, which is it is saying as correct. Then if I do this input, then the answer is 63, which is again correct. And there are 8 hidden test cases. Okay, so Aragya is asking why I plus 2. So Aragya, this var dot substring, what it does is that it gives you a substring from a set of string. Okay, so let's suppose that if I have a substring, if I have this string 45 38 57, this is the string that I have. So from this string, what I want is that substring. This substring is a function. What it is gives you is that it returns you a part of the string. You have to give the starting position and the ending position. So I, when I'm doing it for the first time, what is the starting position? I is 0, and then I plus 2 will become 2. So 0, 1 and 2, this is what it is going to give me. 45, this is what it is going to give me. Then the value of I will become 1, and then it will become 3. So 1 comma 3. So from the first position till the third position, whatever is there, 53, it is going to return me. And this is what I will, this is where I am forming the double digit number. Because from that string that I have to form a double digit number, taking one string at a time. Are you with me? Is the logic clear, or still having some doubt? To be very honest, I did not do a lot of stuff. You see how the substring works. Okay, so it returns the string that is the substring of this string. The substring begins at the specified begin index and extends to the character. Okay, extends to the character at index minus 1. This is how it works. So if you are giving hamburger 4 comma 8, it is going to return urge. If you are having a smiles 1 comma 5, it is going to return mile. Okay, so I am using a inbuilt functions, pre-built functions, library functions, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and that is making my life easier. My logic was very clear. If you ask me what concepts of programming I have used, the only concept of programming I have used is that I know how to declare a variable, I know how to use library functions, and I know how to use a loop and a if condition. This is the only logic I have used. Rest everything, whatever you are seeing over here, is a string, is a inbuilt function. Right? Now it is not like you cannot do it on your own. You can also do it on your own. You can also create the whole thing from scratch. Instead of using the library functions, you can write the whole code, but that will make the code a little lengthier. Okay, that is going to make the code lengthier. Okay, now these days companies are not looking for someone who is a hard worker, to be very honest. Companies are looking for something who is a smart worker. Okay, so you need to be smart. Moreover, you are given 20-25 minutes at max to solve these kind of questions. If you start typing everything and write the whole code by yourself, you are gone. You might be able to solve that question, but that will be the only question you will be able to solve. There are four other questions waiting for you. Right, there are four other questions waiting for you. You will not be able to give some time to devote some time to solve those kind of questions. Okay, are we all good? Shall we go ahead and see the third kind of question that we have for today? The third and the last. And we are going to use the same platform, CoderByte. Okay, so I have another question over here. And one more thing, one more thing before I do that. So, what happens is that, a lot of times we write code, we test it for one or two inputs, and we are good. Right? Like, for an example, if I talk about that the superstitious Sally thing, here it clearly says that the only line of input contains is like a string of length 10, and the constraint is also t has a length of 10. But let's suppose that the constraint is not there, and you are writing a string of having 20 characters in it. What will happen in those cases? Or it says that lowercase. What if you are not handling the lowercase, you are just handling the uppercase scenario? Okay, so what happens is that a lot of times we have these test cases. Okay, we have these test cases where what happens is that you have to you will not know what input is coming from the backend, but the input is coming, and then your program is being tested for those input, and your program should handle all those inputs. It should not break at any point of time. If it breaks, let's suppose that out of 10 test cases, here you can see two test cases right in front. One is this, the other is this, and there are 8 test cases hidden. Let's suppose that out of those 8 test cases, it ran for just 5 of them, for 3 of them it is not working. You are going to lose some mark in that scenario. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are running all the test cases before you submit the code, and once you are good with that, then only you proceed further. Okay, yeah, so
Vivek,
before, yes sir.
yeah. So what you are explaining is, and if you could just talk about this platform which we use to conduct assessments, and one area you pointed out is this is exactly the way companies are assessing nowadays. This is an international platform. It is being used across the world, and for carrying out assessment, for carrying out recruitment tests, etc. And the advantage that you pointed out is it has each problem has 10 test cases, so it checks in a variety of way that the code functions, and satisfy all the checks, all the test cases. And we have seen that this system actually gives marks in terms of how many test cases it has passed. So if 5 test cases have passed, then your code has not considered the other 5 cases. So it is not a complete code. So you will get only 5 marks. So that's the interesting part of it. And if you just take a coding editor and you run the code, it will show that it's fine, your code is good. But the moment you come here, and you run it on a coding editor, which is being used by organizations like this, then the rigor of the code actually is very well tested. It also, the report also provides you the quality of code that you are writing. And just a few minutes back, one of you were asking questions that why companies are doing that. I believe that companies are not only testing your code, and Vivek sir said that they are looking for very smart people, and smart people are those where the codes actually look at all the conditions, and we sometimes say boundary conditions and all the kind of conditions built in the cases, testing it. One of you said that this code can be written in one line, so it is also efficient. How efficient and how fast you are writing it? Yes, it is also testing that. And it also gives you the parameters on which they are also judging the quality of the code. It actually returns what is the quality of the code. It returns how many milliseconds it has taken to run. So all these checks are there. And interestingly, in this course, we will make this coding editor available to you. So when you are writing your code, you can even write your programs based on the questions that this editor or this system has. Um, on the chat, there is something. Okay. Yeah. So that is all I wanted to add. Vivek sir, would you like to add anything else about this editor? Since you are the person who uses it the most.
Yes, sir. So, as Ranjit sir said, like, as I also mentioned, like, these days, companies are asking you to write code in their own editor, because the moment it happens, you are bounded. They can track your every single activity, platform like these. It tracks also how many times I'm changing the tab. If I'm going from this tab to this tab, it is also calculating how many times the user has switched the tabs, how many times I have pasted something over here by copying it from some other site or some other places, right? Everything is being tested. How many times, like, out of 20 minutes I'm spending in this problem, for how many times I'm idle, what is my writing speed, everything is being calculated. So when the report goes to the company, right, it is not just about whether you have got the right answer or not, but it's all about whether you were honest or not, and every other thing. So it is not just about your technical skill, it is about you as a person, how you are, right? Whether your typing speed is good or not, how many mistakes you are writing, what is the accuracy, everything is being tested by just they asking you to write code in these kind of editor. They're testing you in each and everything, to be very honest. And until and unless you expose yourself to those kind of editor, right, things are not going to work out, to be very honest. Things are not going to work out. You might practice in, like, Visual Studio. It is good, but Visual Studio makes you, like, if something has an advantage, it has a disadvantage as well, right? The moment you have that auto populate things coming up, the moment you have suggestions coming up, you tend to forget the code. You do not forget the complete line, because you are relying on that auto complete things, and the moment it stops working, you have to, like, recall from your memory, and sometimes your memory might betray you, right? At the very moment when you need it the most, it might not give you the correct answer, just like it happened with Karna in Mahabharata, right? Although it was on a different context, but yeah, your memory can betray you at any point of time. It might happen. Okay, so you need to expose yourself with us, with others, no matter what. The idea is that you need to start writing code with these, because the language is different, the things are different. And the next question that I'm going to show you, you will see that a simple question has been made a little complex just by adding one single line. Okay, so are we all good? Shall we go ahead? Can I have something in the chat before I go ahead and take the third problem? I'm still waiting for all of you to respond. Something, yes, no, okay.
Shall we move on to the next question? Any
Yes, Uttam
questions?
has Uttam has said okay, sir.
Okay, that's good.
Anandya has also said okay. Nice. So now I have another question. See this question. It is saying that have the function string challenge, which is taking one parameter str, which is being passed, and it returns the string in the reverse order. How simple the question is? You are having one string, You have to reverse it. If you are aware of any inbuilt function in any programming language, you know it is just one line of code. If you are using Java, you just have to use like string dot reverse dot to string. That's what you have to do. But you are not done. What they have done is that you see over here. For example, if the input is hello world and coders, then your output should be this. But here you see this part of the question. Okay, see this part of the question. Can did you notice something? Output modification is enabled. Okay, what you can do is that, and I will show you one more thing. Like if I try to copy paste something over here, let me copy something, some lines of code, and see like if it is detecting or not. Okay, okay, let me delete that and let me do it once again. Sooner or later, you will see that it is detecting you that copy paste is you will get a notification also. For first 5 to 10 times it might not give you that notification, but sooner or later it is going to give you that notification that you are trying to paste something. You are trying to paste something. It is going to show you that. Okay, now come to this part. This is what I was trying to show you. Once your function is working, once you have created a function which is all about reversing the string, what you have to do is that you have to take the final output string and combine it with your challenge token. Now this is something you might not have heard before. A challenge token, what it is, what it is talking about. What is this challenge token? Where do you have to use that? Where this is going to get input? What you need to do? Do I need to copy paste it? Do I need to use it the way it is? What do I need to do? How does the output looks like? Right? How does the output look like? So here what it is saying you is that once your function is working, you have to take the final output string and combine it with your challenge token, both in reverse order, separated by a colon. So now you'll have a look at it. Coder byte, if you are giving coder byte, this is what the output was supposed to be, the reverse of that. You see from here, at from the back, CODER This is what it is, what was supposed to be. And 99% of the student, this is what they are gonna print. But you know what the final output will be? The final output is going to be, the final output is going to be coder byte colon, and this string is going to get reversed. Why? I will tell you why. Because now you had two strings. This is your first string. This is your second string, your challenge token. You have to combine both of them in reverse order, separated by a column. So now the coder byte, you translated or you reversed it, it became this. If you do a reverse once again, it will eventually become coder byte again. And then you will put a colon, and this is the string that you will have to reverse and then put it over here. Are you seeing it? Believe me, when I came across this question for the first time, right, I was also wrong. I also did not pay a lot of attention to it. My problem, I was looking at the example, okay, and then I was expecting this to be the answer. And this is what most of us do. We read like we do not read paragraphs. We do not have a tendency of doing that. We read half of it. We look at the output. Oh, I got it. Now let's start coding. No, you don't. You cannot do that. You have to read each and every single line. You have to read each and every single line, because the moment you miss out on one thing, you are gone. You are gone. You might be confident 100% that yes, you have solved it right, but the result is going to tell a completely different story altogether. Okay, it is going to be a completely different story altogether. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna start and select Java from here so that I can start solving this problem. Okay, and then we are gonna go ahead and write this code. So here you see that we have this main function, we have the string challenge function which is taking one parameter, it is returning the whole string, right? What I'm gonna do over here is that I'm gonna write the code. Okay, the input is already there. First of all, what will I do is that I will write the code in this function first, which is all about reversing the string. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that string var, I'm creating a variable var string var equal to new string builder. Okay, string builder, this is what I'm going to use, str dot, and here I will use the function called reverse, and what will I pass to it? Nothing. The only thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to convert it to string. I'm going to convert it to string. and here I'm going to change this var str to var. So technically speaking, my code is done. Okay, technically speaking, my code is done. This is what I was supposed to do if this part was not there. If this part was not there, this is what I was supposed to do. Okay, like if I run the code for coder byte, what you're gonna see is that you see this is what I'm getting. But if I run the test case, what you will see that you will see fail. Expected output, you see wrong. Can you see wrong? Can you see wrong? Yeah, it is going to fail. So now what I need to do is that I need to use this part of the problem. This part of the problem is already done. Now comes the token part of the problem, and this token is going to be unique. In some of the cases, they might ask you to join in reverse. In some cases, they might ask you to just join. In some cases, they might ask you to separate it by a colon. In some cases, they might ask you to place one character from that and one character from that, intermix of the character. So this can vary for each and every student, and with that, even if you are all in the same room using the same coding editor, having the same question, but still you cannot copy. Okay, still you cannot copy. Why? Because your challenge token is different, and your challenge token is different, which basically means that you have to put it in a different way. So until and unless you are aware of the coding skills, the logic, you will not be able to do that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and start doing this. So what I'm going to do over here is that here we are already there, like scanner is equal to new says scanner system.n. We are good with that. Okay, I'm going to comment on this line for the time being. Okay, I'm going to comment on this line for the time being. I will start writing the thing. So the first thing I'm going to do is that string is equal to, okay, or string, yeah, string s, I'm creating the, okay, s is already there, so I cannot use s over here. Okay, so let me put input str. Okay, input string equal to s dot next line. This is what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to read the input. Whatever input is coming up, I'm going to read that, and I'm going to put it into a variable called input string. Then what I will do is that I will pass it to the function string challenge so that I get the reverse of it. So string result equal to, okay, string challenge, and here I will pass that input string. Okay, input str. So now what do I have in this result? I have the reverse string. I already have it. Now what do I need to do is that I will print this line also. Okay, system dot out dot println. Okay, println. I'm gonna print the result first. So first part I'm done. This part output is done. This part is done. Now I need to code for the final output. So here I need to take that string token into consideration. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna put another variable string challenge token equal to, and then I'm gonna copy paste this token whatever is given to me. Okay, copy and paste it over here like this. Okay, so I have the challenge token with me. Now what I need to do is that I need to make the final output. This is what I need to do. So here again I'm gonna use the inbuilt function string final output equals to new. Okay, again I will use the string builder. Okay, string builder, it is going to be the result variable that I have got, which is actually the reverse of the main string which the user has given input, dot reverse. Okay, dot to a string, the one thing that I already used in the beginning. I'm again repeating the same thing. Now what will I do is that now I'll combine it. I will combine it with what? I'll combine it with the token, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put like this a colon. Okay, and then again I'll put a plus sign, and here again it is going to be new string builder. Here again it is going to be the challenge token. Okay, dot reverse. Okay, dot to string. This is how it is going to be. Put semicolon at the end, come to the next line, and here I'm going to write system dot out dot println. Okay, and here I'm going to put the final output. Okay, now if I run the code, let me clear the log, let me run the code and see. It is saying that no such element find. Did I miss out on something? Let me have a look. Did I miss out on something? Let me run the test cases and see. Line number 16. Line number 16. String. Okay, so here it is saying that string input str equal to s dot next line. Scanner s was the input that I have taken. Logic wise, I'm good. Otherwise, if the logic would have been wrong, I would have got some other error message. The only thing that I am not able to do right now is that it is asking me to follow a syntax which I am not following. It is giving me an exception. No such element exception, no line found add. It is saying no line found. So there is some problem with that part, which should not be the case. Scanner. Scanner.next. Okay, so that is the line where the problem is. So let us do it once again. Scanner s is equal to new scanner system.in. This is what I have. String input str equal to s dot next line. That is also right. I have the java.util.asterisk, java.io.asterisk. That is also there. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Then if I do the same thing over here, I come here, string result equal to string challenge input str. That is also fine. Okay, and then I have the string final output. That is also fine. And what we have noticed is that our code was working fine. If I had this line, let me see if it was working till then or not. Yeah, you can see, like, half of the code is working. So the only thing is that this s dot next line is having some issue. This is where the problem is coming. Okay, this is where the problem is coming. No problem with that. We will be able to solve it. It's not going to be a big deal, right? It's not going to be a big deal. Okay, let us try. I just copied the same code and I pasted it once again, and now you see it worked. The same code is there. String input s dot next line. I did not change it. The only thing I did is that these comments were added. Now you see. Can you see the final output? Coder byte colon 21. The reverse 21 C6. If I run the test cases, it will work. Can you see the output? Input was I love code. This is what the output is. And then the final output, which is a reverse of that, put plus a colon and then your string that you had. Same thing. And here it is saying wrong. What is wrong with that? This is right. What is wrong with that? Did I make a mistake with the input part, with the output part? Okay. We'll have to do a very careful 21C 6J. This is what I have, right? If I look at this, this is what I'm having. 21C6JFHMBSAI, right? Expected output, it is saying that I love code colon 21C6JFHMBSAI. Do you find anything wrong with that? We have to reverse the input string. Yeah, we reverse the input string, right? This is what we did. The input string that I am reading from s.next line, this is what I pass it to the function so that I get a reverse of that string, right? And then I'm printing it out as well. I'm printing the reverse string as well. And then I'm coming with the challenge token, right? Then I'm coming with the challenge token, and then I'm combining it with the thing. The reverse of my already reversed string, putting a colon, and then the reverse of the challenge token. This is what I am putting, and then I am combining it. Maybe am I missing out on the spacing? Is that so? Am I missing out on the spacing thing? I don't think. I did not give an extra space. Okay. But if I run the whole code, am I getting the correct answer or not? You see, coder byte, this is the reverse part of it, which is actually absolutely right. ETYBREDOC. And then the final output, if I match it with this over here, it is like CODERBYTE colon 21C6 JFHMBSAI. Okay, this is what we are getting. If I change it to like I love code and see if I get the answer for that or not. Okay, if I put it like this and I run the code now, what do I get? This is what I get. So now you see, a simple program has been made complex just by introducing a token, and this token is going to be unique for each and every student because this is going to get generated based on your registration ID with the companies that you're writing the exam for. It is going to be an absolutely unique string for each and every individual, and that increases the complexity level, guys. Right? So again, as I said, they are not asking you to write a complex code. They are not asking you to solve the rocket science problem, to be very honest, in the exam. They just want you to see how good you are, how honest you are, and how much logic do you have. Okay, if I change the same thing, if I break it down the same thing, are you able to put them into pieces once again or not? This is what it is asking. Okay, with that note, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to hand it over to Ranjan sir. I'm going to stop my screen sharing and I'm going to hand it over to Ranjan sir.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So Vivek
yeah,
sir, have we covered? I had just stepped out.
yes
So,
sir.
did you were you able to explain the tokenization which
Yeah,
companies have?
that's what we were trying to do, and like you can consider it like such a scenario where the string challenge put me into problem. I was
Hmm.
also put into problem because of the string challenge. For a moment, the code stopped working. It did not work. It did not give me the right output.
Hmm.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So it is that kind of a scenario. No matter how good you are, how experienced you are, right? If you do not know where the problem can come, it is going to go, and then you will have a difficult time for sure. This is how it can be.
Right. Right. So, I mean, are we going to do anything else today?
No,
Vivek
we
sir?
covered three problems, sir. Problems of three different varieties. One problem we covered, which was like a complete story problem. The other problem we covered, which was in a platform, and the third problem we covered in the platform with the token challenge. So we covered three different kind of challenges, right?
Great. Great. So, students, Reshmi, if you can put uh, our Google Sheet on the feedback form, and students, you can provide the feedback of what you felt and what we can do to you for you in these webinars. And I hope that you will register for the course. And those of you who have registered, we have already started giving out the access to um, the various systems. If you have not got access, just wait. We shall provide them to you definitely before the course starts on the 1st of September. And Vivek sir, we were carrying out coding assessment for Accenture, and 45 minutes, two questions, and we gave the test to a lot of students across a lot of colleges actually, and we found that the results were not up to the mark. I mean,
Absolutely,
students are
and
unable to solve, and so one is a bit simple question, they are able to solve. The second one, they are not able to. So you get 50% marks, but at
right.
50% marks, then you are not passing the coding test.
No, and then you have other things as well, right? Like if you are scoring 50% over here, then in aptitude again, like you are not scoring 100%, so that is not going to increase the average. It's going to pull you down,
Exactly.
right? So, like as I said, like so the questions that are being asked in the examinations, they are simple, right? They are not like they are going to test a lot of logical skill or a lot of you need to know each and everything about programming. No, they're just asking you like if given a simple problem, right, in different varieties of way, how in how many ways you can solve that problem. This is what they're asking you. right? And now that you have brought this Accenture thing, maybe next month we can find some time, sir, and we can do a webinar on that as well, just to give the student, like, what kind of questions are being asked, what is pseudocode, because I don't think, like, some all of them are aware of what is pseudocode,
Pseudocode.
right?
And Accenture paper comes with a lot of
A lot
questions
of pseudocodes,
on
right?
pseudocode. So
Right,
like
sir.
that in the webinars, yes, you're very right. We will work out the Accenture paper. Then we will again see which is the next company which is coming, and at least the most popular kind of companies in India. We will definitely create sample papers and solve them, and we shall put them up as small courses with a very minimal kind of fees for it. You can go and access, pay a small amount and do the uh, take the test for specifically Accenture. Um, the drives are going to happen very soon. They have already started in many colleges, and you can do that with a very minimal amount. And we will also discuss them in such webinars. Uh, so participants, any questions, any observations you have? But certainly like you to now purchase that, make a purchase. Reshmi, can you put the links for the course? Let me see if I can do that for you, and make a purchase, book your seat. Because come September we will go slow with our coding kind of or IT kind of webinars. We will start to concentrate a little more on our other areas like soft skills, like aptitude test preparation, like our cat. That is also an area in which we work. So yes, so register now, and Reshmi, can you also put the feedback form if you have, so that the students please give your feedback. Write to us as to how we could help you. Anything different you would like to see in these webinars. But currently, these webinars are very focused towards our first September 60-hour course, and we would all like you to make a purchase as soon as you can. Any questions? You don't have any questions, then we'll call it a day. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vivek sir. We will meet again.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, students. Thank you, sir. Okay, how can we improve our analytical skill from these type of questions? Would you like to answer that, sir, or do you want me to answer that?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So, Aragya, I just want to ask a follow-up question on that. When you're asking analytical skill, like, can you a little bit elaborate on that part? What actually you are trying to ask?
Oh, Orko had a question. Sorry about that. Please. Okay, so he's asking how can we improve our analytical skill from this type of questions.
Yeah,
Right.
I just want to understand, like, is it like, if when you are asking this question, what is the analytical part you are referring to? That is one follow-up question I have. Or do you want to ask, like, how you can increase your analytical skills so that you can solve this type of problem? Is this the question that you have?
Orko, are you asking how to improve your analytical skills? Yeah, Vivek sir, you might like to give an
Yeah.
idea of,
Okay. So
yeah,
from the
from the
whole
whole
question,
question,
go
go
forward
forward
towards
towards
the
the
right
right approach.
approach.
Okay, so he's saying from the whole question, go forward towards the right approach. How do you analyze the question and make sure that the way you are going towards the solution, you are approaching it in the correct way and not going wrong?
Okay, so I will answer it in a very honest way, right? So one thing is, like, you get to learn it from experience. This is where it comes from. Like, if you're asking about the right approach, what is the right approach? The right approach will only come from the experience, right? And now the question is that where does the experience come from? The experience comes from practice. The more you will practice, the more experienced you will be, In one time, you will be like, you'll be writing 10 lines of code. The next time you'll try to solve it, you might reduce it to 8 lines of code, then 5 lines of code. Then you might remember that, okay, there is a function that you can call, and then you can use that, and it is going to get solved in one problem, right? So there is no book or there is no institution on this world in this world who can tell you the right approach. The only thing we all can do is that, we can give you a variety of problem so that you have a strong database, right? You have a strong database, and from there you can recollect, or like you get an experience of that. This is how you do. Like for example, like you might have heard of people like Warren Buffett, right? Or Junjun Agarwal, you might have heard all those billionaires who make they predict the right stocks. If you have any idea or any interest on the stock market, right? You know that these people make millions and millions of money, right? Billions in sometimes. How do they pick up the right stock? How do they know that this is the right time? It's all comes with experience. This is what their answer will be if you ask them, right? And it all came from the past mistakes they have made. They did not become a billionaire or a millionaire in a single day. And it's just the same thing. You cannot solve the code in a single day. It won't happen. You might be able to solve one of them, but not all of them, right? But the moment you start grinding yourself 30 hours, 40 hours, 60 hours, 100 hours, right? Then you see what happens. Then you see the magic. So the magic is all in that hard work, which makes you smart, right? I told you, like, the companies are not looking for the hard worker, they are looking for the smart worker, right? Smart people. But the answer is the smart people are the ones who did all the hard work, right? There is a very famous thing going on, like right now, if you are looking around the news, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? 38 billion or 48 million subscriber in YouTube in a single day. You might see that in single day it happened, but if you look in the past, the moment he started playing football and he became famous, from that day itself the effort was there. He is reaping the fruit today. So the effort was there right from the day he started playing football. He started practicing it. It's just the same thing for all of us.
Exactly.
Okay, it's just about putting the effort, putting the effort, putting the effort. Turn up every single day. Like we keep hosting these webinars every single time, every single week, almost, right?
Yeah.
And you might feel like, why to go, but you keep coming up, you will definitely learn something or the other, and you might see, like, by the next year same time, you will be the one person who will be answering all the questions that we are asking, and the other student will be like, will be feeling like either you are paid by us or the question was already leaked. This is what they're gonna feel. Okay, so it's all about putting the effort.
Sir, let me give you some statistics.
Yes,
Again,
sir.
let me go back to Accenture. Okay. So Accenture has say 100 requirements. They go to 10 colleges. And from each colleges, they just have to pick up 10 people. And I'm telling you, Orgo and others who are here in the webinar, I'm telling you, in each college, those 10 people are there. We take these assessments across many, many colleges. I'm telling you, in each college, those 10% are really good. They can code. If today I give them 5 questions to code in 2 hours, or eight, rather we give 8 questions in 2 hours, I've seen that they get 100% marks and they are not cheating. So those people are there. For Accenture, it's very easy. They just have to go and pick up those 10 people. The challenge is, are you among those 10 people?
That's what it is.
And that is what Vivek sir is saying. The competition is there. You are among them. Although you are asking the right question, it is practice, practice, practice. That is why I'm saying we could have said that in this webinar we will teach you, in this course we will teach you Java. No, we are not going to teach you Java. We are going to solve problems using Java and other coding language, and we want to actually solve 50 such problems. And we are going to open our coder byte system to you, where we will give you 100 more problems for you to solve. 150 problems, 50 we will help you solve, 100 you solve yourself. We will give you the tips. 150 problems if you solve, of the quality and standard, and these are international standard problems, you can walk into many, many MNC companies in India. That is guaranteed. So, So participants, students, work with us. If you have any more questions, just drop us a mail. I'll give you our email ID. Yeah, yeah. Or I mean, the reason I'm telling you is because yes, that is what we have seen. Shit. Yeah. Or you can even write to Vivek. Same.
Yeah. Just put Vivek at the rate Constellation TNP dot.
Yeah. Just reach out to us. We want to even speak to us. We'll book a slot for you. You can speak to us. So with that, we'll call the day and thank you so much, participants, students, to attend this seminar. It has been wonderful for you. And as I mentioned, that those of you who have already registered, we have already started giving you the access. If you have not got, just wait for 1 2 days. We will give you access to all our systems. Thank you so much. One more webinar on Saturday next week. Wish to see you there, and then we wish to see you in our course. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Reshmi, can you also provide the feedback form? Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye everyone.